Hello there, everybody. This is Mel Allen. Starlight, star bright. Baseball stars are out tonight. Cosmic forces seem to be influencing the St. Louis Cardinals, creating bizarre atmospheric conditions and sending opponents into a black hole. Baltimore's stellar shortstop continues on his meteoric rise through the majors. Only problem is his team may be light years away from contention. Trekking back through the galaxy, an Oakland slugger shares stardust memories as he recalls a clout that nearly slipped through the Milky Way. Extraterrestrial beings in California, where the Angels and Brewers exchange astronomical feats. Who knows, but get into mid-season orbit once and for all. It's time to space out on This Week in Baseball. Now, in our second decade.
I'm Andre Dawson, and I watch This Week in Baseball to see who's hitting the ball and who's catching the ball.
Me too. American League salute. In Kansas City, a requiem for a royal man. Kansas City honored beloved manager Dick Howser when it inducted him into the Royals Hall of Fame and made his number the first ever retired in team history.
Dick and I talked about this night many times before his death. I remember the morning we heard the good news and we read all the details about this day and about this night. And Dick was thrilled. And he said to me, there are so many good people out there that just keep doing so many wonderful things for me. There are a lot of caring people in this world, and I think we heard from just about all of them. Thank you. Dick loves you, and I love you.
Dick was not only one of the game's most respected managers, he was also one of the most successful, and filling his shoes proved especially difficult.
I've known Dick a long time, and I played against him, I managed against him, and, you know, I know the situation I was coming in when I come over here, and I was a little reluctant at the time. They hired me as a third base coach, but Dick Howser called me. He talked to me about 45 minutes on the phone, and he said he wanted me, and he wanted me to, at times, if he couldn't run the ball club, he wanted to run the ball club for him, and it made me feel better, so I decided to come over.
The Royals have been feeling better than ever, posting 8 wins in 11 games, including 6 in a row to keep things hopping on the Western Front. Proclaimed hale and hearty once again, George Brett has taken up residence at first base since coming back from nearly 2 months on the disabled list. Though the position may be new, Brett's hitting isn't. Batting better than .300 since his return, Brett's also driven in 16 runs in 12 games, and for good measure, smacked 3 homers. Also pumping up KC's offense has been newcomer Jim Eisenreich. Witness this game winner.
Eisenreich mashes it. Kirby Puckett can't get it. Biancalana is coming around third. And this game's over.
Though a hitter of great promise when he came up with the Minnesota Twins in 1982, Eisenreich suffered from a neurological disorder, and after playing just 48 games in 3 seasons, he had to leave baseball altogether.
This caused me to actually breathe wrong, and I had all the tics and twitches and things ever since I was a little kid, and it's under control now, and that's the main thing. It took a couple years for me to get used to the medication and find the right dosage. And I think we found that now, and I'm ready to go and play ball again.
Brett Saberhagen found a remedy for the ills that sidelined him part of last season. Declared fit once again, he leads the league with a 14-3 record and an ERA well below 3. So, with the Royals robust and rosy, everything's up to date in Kansas City. In Baltimore, the Orioles may be sinking, but the sun rises for one All-Star. Life's been grand for Baltimore's Cal Ripken, the league's top vote-getter for this year's All-Star game. Of course, Ripken's been earning accolades since he was named Rookie of the Year in '82. The next season, he helped the O's to a world championship.
You look back, there's a lot of fun wrapped up in that year. All the fun centered around winning, of course. and when you win, things seem to go well. To me, it just seemed like I was just contributing in my little way, and we started putting together W's after W's, and my hits kept coming and coming in the second half of the season, and it was a storybook ending. Everybody dreams of being in the World Series, participating in the World Series, being on a winning team, and everything happened in that 1 year.
Even though Ripken was voted the league's MVP award that season, the memory of winning the World Series stands out above all else.
Well, I didn't have the most explosive offensive series, so I wanted to try to contribute in some small way to a World Championship. And as I remember, Scotty was pitching, he was cruising along in the ball game. Maddox was up, and it was an inside fastball, and it jammed him, and the ball came down into my glove. I had that ball in my glove. I wasn't going to let it go for anything. I still have it at home. Scotty pitched a shutout, but I wasn't giving up the baseball.
This is another year, and the sweet taste of victory has turned sour as the Orioles have floundered.
It's been like a roller coaster season so far. We got off to a pretty good start. We got out of the gate pretty good. When you went on that 10-game losing streak, and the fact that Toronto Blue Jays were on a 10-game winning streak, that kind of separated the distance between us and first place. It was kind of discouraging. It's a setback. There's a lot of setbacks in the course of a season, but this one seemed to be difficult and hard to get over just because that first place team was the one that was hot, and we were the one that was really cold.
While the team remains in turmoil, the Baltimore shortstop is swinging ever so sweetly. In Anaheim, a tale of irony amuses some and bewilders all. This was no ordinary day at the ballpark. Witness, for example, extraordinary defense between the Angels and Brewers. 10 great plays in all. Jim Gantner started it all when he robbed his Angel opposite Mark McLemore. And from there, the plays just kept on coming.
Hits this one up the middle. Is he going to be robbed by his counterpart? He is. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, huh?
What's good for the goose is good for the Gantner.
Hit back up the middle. Nice play by Lazorko. Oh, we talked about that earlier. What a cat he is on the mound. And going to try to bunt again. Lazorko, you're not going to get it by him. 2 great plays by Jack Lazorko. Right back at Lazorko. He does it again. Glove save. Boy, he looked like a hockey goalie, didn't he, going down that time?
No, he does it again. Lazorko has his 3rd consecutive 1-3 putout.
He's something else, isn't he?
Again, Jack Lazorko. Well, I'll tell you, don't hit anything up the middle today.
Jim Gantner decided enough of that. It's my turn again. So, great play number 8. Still more to come.
This ball is hit down the left side. It is caught beautifully. Oh, Jack Howell with an outstanding play. Oh, Riles snares one, and the defensive gymnastics continue.
That is until Gene Mauch got a little offensive gymnastics from Gary Pettis, who led off the bottom of the 12th with a single. But came an act of folly by Mike Felder, and the game's only error. Pettis took second. 1 out later, Brian Downing had a chance to win it.
Hit back through the middle. Base hit. Pettis will score, and the ball game is over.
Proving yet again that the true course of baseball defies predictability. Well, time for this week's quiz, brought to you by the 1988 Chevy full-size pickup. From the heartbeat of America, today's Chevy trucks. Jack Clark has been a slugger supreme for the Cardinals. Besides 25 homers, he drove in 82 runs in the first 83 games, putting him on a pace to collect 160 RBIs. Now, who was the last major leaguer to drive in 150 runs in the season? Think Dodgers. The Cardinals say everything's going my way. All's well for the first-place Cardinals. So well, in fact, some wonder if they're getting a little help from above. Take, for instance, this game in Atlanta, when the Braves put 2 runners aboard.
That gets away. It's going to be close at the plate. He's out.
Now this, with runners on first and second, the Braves' Gerald Perry delivered a hit for sure and 2 runs for certain, or so he thought.
And it's off the fence on the fly. 1 run is home, and that is all. If
Oh, he didn't make it.
They got him at the plate. I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Danny Cox couldn't believe his ill fortune when he was struggling against the Braves. Cox loaded the bases in the first inning. Then with 2 out, Greg Nettles came up, hoping to dampen the spirits of St. Louis. But no go for Nettles, who again came up with the bases loaded and again was foiled. How about a third time?
It is wrapped, and Hurd knocks it down, picks it up, throws him out. Cox has had 9 lives. Nettles has left 9 runners.
More magic for the Cards. Vince Coleman was on second base when Tommy Herr hit this pitch.
Hubbard backhands.
He's coming home.
Herr's going to beat it. Coleman to the plate. Safe. Oh, man, is that scintillating baseball.
Scintillating to some, but frustrating to the Dodgers, who twice had a lead against St. Louis in the first game of a doubleheader. Refusing to back down, the Cards rallied and beat Los Angeles. Then in the nightcap, which followed a 2.5-hour rain delay, the Cardinals came from behind again and were still chipper in the wee hours, AM that is, when in the last of the 10th, Jack Clark came up with a runner on second base. That did it as the Cardinals went on to a 4-game sweep, 7 straight in all, and far from the madding crowd of the East. Meanwhile in Chicago, a Cubs hero rebounds for glory. For the Cubs' Rick Sutcliffe, the shadows of doubt have lifted. Winning 11 of his first 15 decisions, the 1984 Cy Young Award winner is enjoying a hearty comeback season.
It's just been exciting. It's been fun to play baseball again, and the key thing is that I've been healthy. The last couple of years, I've had some injuries and things that made it difficult to compete. I got to the point where I didn't even enjoy pitching anymore. I knew once I got there that something was going to bother me. If my shoulder didn't hurt, it was going to be my leg or something else on my body. I started doubting myself. My confidence was really struggling, and I think that was a key for me early this year. Our manager, Gene Michael, showed a lot of confidence in me. After going 5-14 last year, he handed me the ball for opening day. That was a key thing for me. Even though I didn't win that ball game, it showed that he had a lot of faith in me, and it was time I started having faith in myself.
While Sutcliffe has helped bring restoration to the Cubs, so has ace reliever Lee Smith. No doubt a starting pitcher's best friend.
Believe me, I think that our staff would probably be mediocre at best if it wasn't for the job Lee Smith's done. He saved 20 ball games already. He's going to save a lot more before the year's over with, and you know, he makes all of us look a lot better than we really are. I'm not sure if we have any more ability this year than we've had in the past or not, but I do know that our attitude's changed, and I think that's been the key for us. When Andre Dawson walked in the clubhouse, immediately you've seen people start smiling. We've been smiling ever since. We've been pulling together. Our attitude's definitely changed. We're having fun again, and you know how tough it can be on opposing teams to come to Chicago and try to win at Wrigley. We seem to have a 10th man behind us with the amount of support and fans that come out and watch us.
And how sweet it is for Cub fans to anticipate watching their own Rick Sutcliffe in this year's All-Star Game. Now, This Week in Baseball's Twib Notes presents a movable feast for one National Leaguer. Kevin Mitchell helped the Padres to a win against Los Angeles when he crashed 2 homers in one game. As it turned out, that was Mitchell's last hurrah in San Diego. A few days later, he was traded to San Francisco. In his first game with the Giants, Mitchell went all out to help his new team beat the Cubs.
Fly ball deep left center field. That ball is way back, and Kevin Mitchell has homered in his first at-bat as a Giant.
That's not all. Mitchell hit another homer in the game, doing his utmost to earn a name for himself. Now, let's name the answer to this week's quiz. Swinging a magical bat in 1962, Tommy Davis of the Dodgers won the first of 2 straight batting titles when he hit .346. But best of all, Davis drove in an outstanding 153 runs, more than any player since. And by the way, Davis never came close again. His next highest total was 89 RBIs. All-Star time. The ballots have been cast. Here's Warner Fussell with the All-Star Past.
Mel, with the 58th All-Star Game coming up on Tuesday in Oakland, let's stargaze back for some All-Star startling stats. The first All-Star Game was in 1933 in Chicago, with the American Leaguers of Connie Mack hosting the National Leaguers of John McGraw.
We have a sellout, big crowd, a fine day, and I hope the best team wins. Thank you.
Radio station WCFL bought the broadcast rights for $62.50. And thanks to Babe Ruth, got its money's worth.
Starts a home run in the right field stack. The first home run of the series.
The next year, 1934, Carl Hubbell struck out 5 consecutive future Hall of Famers. But how about this? Of the 18 starting players, only one is not in the Hall of Fame today. The one left out is outfielder Wally Burger of the Boston Braves. In the 1941 All-Star Game, the Red Sox' Dom DiMaggio singled and drove in brother Joe DiMaggio of the Yankees. In 1950, switch hitter Red Schoendienst, batting right-handed, hit a game-winning home run in the 14th inning. It was Red's 6th year in the major leagues, but his first home run ever right-handed. In 1953, the St. Louis Browns' Satchel Paige pitched at age 47. In 1954, rookie Dean Stone of the Washington Senators was the winning pitcher, even though he did not retire even one batter. Red Schoendienst was thrown out trying to steal home for the 3rd out. A pinch hitter then batted for Stone, and the American League came from behind to win. Moving up to 1967 at Anaheim, in the bottom of the 5th inning, Mickey Mantle pinch hit and was called out on strikes. Rumor has it that the Mick then left the park and was on the golf course in Dallas before the game ended in the 15th inning. Mel, the All-Star Game is full of surprises. So sit back, relax, and here comes the judge.
A perfectly beautiful day, a wonderful crowd, and my only regret is that you can't all be here with me in my box and see the ball game.
Thank you, Judge. And now, fans, cast your eyes on great plays from each and every All-Star as picked by the fans. First to the National League, catcher Gary Carter, the Mets. First baseman Jack Clark, Cardinals. Second baseman Ryne Sandberg, Cubs. Shortstop Ozzie Smith, Cardinals. Philadelphia's third baseman Mike Schmidt. To the outfield, Eric Davis, Cincinnati Reds. Chicago Cubs, Andre Dawson. The New York Mets, Darryl Strawberry. In the American League, catcher Terry Kennedy, Baltimore. First baseman Don Mattingly, Yankees. Teammate Willie Randolph, second base. Baltimore shortstop Cal Ripken. Third baseman Wade Boggs, Boston Red Sox. In the outfield, George Bell, Toronto. Rickey Henderson, Yankees. And the fourth Yankee voted to the All-Star team, Dave Winfield. Brilliant gentleman, one and all. Now, This Week in Baseball's Flashback, brought to you by Gatorade. Thirst aid for that deep down body thirst. Welcome to Detroit's Tiger Stadium for the 1971 All-Star Game. Victory at last for the American League, which snaps an 8-game losing streak with a 6-4 win against the Nationals. The game featured a record-tying 6 home runs. The most memorable came against Pittsburgh Doc Ellis in the third inning when Reggie Jackson hit for Vida Blue. Reggie?
I felt at the time like, why was I pinch hitting so early in the game? However, I do remember saying to myself that they're just getting me out of the way because I'm just a young kid. And I believe the count was a ball and 2 strikes, and Doc Ellis, I was trying to keep from striking out.
Foul again.
I remember Doc Ellis threw me a high slider. Out over the plate, really a good pitch to hit.
There's a long drive. That one is going way up. It is off the roof. That hit the transformer up there.
I hit the ball on the nose, and bingo, it went a mile.
It was one of the longest balls I've ever seen hit, and to see it hit that transformer in Tiger Stadium, a lot of people said that if the ball actually would have kept going, would have gone out of the stadium. It reminded me of a space shuttle taking off. I mean, it was like a rocket. It took off. It was a shot.
Indeed, Jackson's home run traveled 520 feet. Measure for measure, a colossal clout that fittingly belongs in the All-Star annals.
I knew that I'd hit a ball longer than I usually hit them, but I wasn't like shocked or think I'd hit something that would be remembered as it is today.
And that was Jackson's only All-Star home run. And that's all for now, folks. We'll see you next week on This Week in Baseball.